Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Mokoto Man at YouTube with another tutorial. Today we'll be talking about polishing and compounds. I have the Mr. Hobby Mr. Compound Fine and Super Fine 3000 and 8000 grit. I really like this product because the numbers are in line with sandpaper. It's a very large bottle that's easy to store and hold upright, as well as it comes with rags opposed to the cheaper Tamiya version that has the tubes and you still need to buy polishing rags. Can be a tad more to double the price expensive. Now you will also need some sandpaper. 2000, and if you want for a finer finish 4000 and maybe 6 or 8000 grit, as well as work in preparing a surface. Now some people are lucky when they paint, they achieve a perfectly smooth uninterrupted finish and a gloss coat that just looks like a seamless endless sheen of a wet surface. There's no fault, there's no bumps, nothing. And it just looks perfect. And if you're able to achieve a finish like that, pretty much good for you. Sometimes when you're painting, or just the surface of the kit does not allow that. And as you airbrush or paint, little bits of dust or bumps build up. And as you put more and more coats, the bumps and or overspray comes up as all these little bumps, dimples, holes, and when you look at the sheen you're just seeing all these interruptions and it does not look as shiny or pretty as possible. Doesn't matter how many coats of clear you put down. Other parts that you paint may look really slick and nice, particularly smaller pieces. This is not a terrible thing. It just means there's a lot more work to do. The first step is after you're finished painting, you need to allow the surface or paint to completely chemically and finish hardening. So a few days wait before you do anything. If you do any sort of work while there's any sort of drying or puttiness or liquidness to the paint, you'll absolutely destroy the finish. So give it a few days if it's lacquer or acrylic, or even further if it's enamels. Now what I do first is I get some 2000 grit sandpaper, and must be wet, and just very lightly I just scrape it across and buff it until it's nice and flat. When you prime your kit, in the event that your paint has any imperfections, primer or dust on it, I also 2000 grit sanded down. Your surface has to be perfectly smooth and nice during the build process. So seam lines need to be well removed, double puttied and sanded back. Any imperfections need to be sanded and puttied, and it needs to look really good under primer. Once you've sanded the primer to a nice smooth finish, you can also polish that and then put paint onto a really shiny surface. After you paint and you put a top coat, then you can see if there's any imperfections, a few dusts, spots, a fingerprint, whatever, a build up somewhere. Apply a few more coats of clear, 2-3, make sure it's nice and thick. When you're sanding, buffing or removing, and if your paint's very thin, it's easy to sand through the clear finish into the paint, into the surface, and you might get little spots of primer or bare plastic, or you might have areas where the paint is wearing away from your sanding. So the thicker the clear coat, you're sanding only into the clear coat, not the paint, the better. And the lighter that you buff and sand, the better, because you're getting all those bumps away to a smooth surface, but you're not moving away too much material. So just keep going, even if there's patches of gloss and a little bit of matte, until when you wipe away the water, it seems nice and flat. And we still got a few more bumps, so I'm going to keep working at it until we get something like this. And there's some parts that it's gloss, some parts that it's not. You can see where the finish has been sanded back till it's slightly matte. That's okay. We're going to polish it and bring the glossiness back. So there we go. We can see that there's still a gloss sheen. though there are some weird wave circular patterns all over it. So that's definitely not appropriate for our finish, but this is the stage we definitely want to go on. That's quite terrible. The next trick is, or how I achieve this is lots and lots of water on the surface and just lightly rubbing it, even if you have to go 6, 7, 8 times over backwards and forwards. Very, very light. You'll make a few mistakes. You'll lose paint the first time around and repaint it. If you do it so you don't remove any paint, that's perfect. We're going to, once completely dry, apply a bit of polish, polish it up and remove it. For application, all you have to do is just put a couple of drops on the surface, and then we're going to rub it in and mix it. Now you only get a few sheets of buffing sheets in the pack. It's not enough. Don't reuse them because you get a shit finish. So you got something nice and fresh, and you're just going to blend it in. Really mix it in everywhere nice and well. Let it sit, and then you just rub it in nice and good. And the abrasion's getting in there, it's mixing, it's uniforming the surface. And I can see that everything's nice and flat, no scratches, there's no bumps. The sheen's pretty uniform except for where it's a bit marbly in the original gloss. If it gets a bit too dry, add a bit more. You want the surface to be nice and creamy. With another one, a fresh one, this is for removing. We remove everything to a nice buff. And then we finally got a sheen. But the sheen is not very deep, it's very light on. This is because we've cut all the fine scratches and from the sandpaper. It's not too bad, but it is starting to look a bit wet. And you just keep buffing until it's all gone. Nice and dry. Now we've got the Superfine. It's got a high velocity, so you have to be a bit careful. Give it a good shake. And you put a little bit on there, just the same. Apply it, nice and creamy. Spread it nice and around. If you have to add more, which I think I have to add more. The first time you just got to let it soak into the paper a bit. So the first few times you will have to apply too much, and then later on when your paper's all, your sheet's all matted, then it just goes on beautifully. Apply a bit of force, not too much where you wipe the paint on. For a fresh new sheet, you're going to buff it and cut off the sheen, and you can see that is extra shiny now. That's looking really, really good. There is a big improvement. Once you've rinsed it underwater and you've allowed it 24 hours to dry, every bit of water, being a Gundam kit, there's going to be water trapped all over the place. Give it a good wash, a good dry. One more coat of clear and it's going to be beautiful. It's very important to rinse the parts after you polish. Some of the polish does remain on and will frost or ruin your work later. So just give it a good rinse in water, wipe it up, and hang it up to dry. Paint it in up to an hours to a day's time. And here's the finished product. It's not 100% perfect, as I've only done one polishing session on top of the clear gloss. It can also be done on the plastic or the priming stage. So the more often you do it per layer, the better, as long as it's a really, really, really good rinse. And you allow sufficient time for the surface clear gloss to completely dry and harden. Once I was done rinsing and drying, after a day or so, I sprayed a coat of lacquer clear, nice and thick, 2 coats. And that's just all it is to it. It's really shiny, looks absolutely great. All those bumps and hairs and little imperfections are gone, and as you can see in the sheen of these legs, that's the results you get, and it's not too bad. The more time and the more careful you are at it, the smoother it's going to be. This isn't absolutely perfect, but the look does almost look like there is a coating of glass. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time, stay tuned for further content. If you have any further questions, I'm very happy to answer it in the comment section below. Be very careful of how long you allow it to dry and harden before you touch it. If you don't touch it for a few days, it's very safe. If you're doing gloss coats, allow ample time before competitions or displays. Make sure to check out Facebook. We've got lots of stuff going on there, especially with YouTube being weird. All videos are always posted there to watch, and you can always go back in the back catalogue or see other links we have in the description section. Catch you guys next time, and stay tuned for further content.